Good afternoon, Beaver Creek families, and thanks for joining us for our first video update of the 21-22 school year. I want to begin by thanking our parents, students, and staff for all that they've done this year to keep our students safe and in school daily. We recognize that our return to wearing masks was not something that any of us were wanting to do for this school year. Unfortunately, due to the rapid spread of COVID, we found ourselves in a position that none of us expected to be in as we started the school year. Because of the new guidance from the Ohio Department of Health and how quarantines are determined, our mask requirement has kept our students in school, reduced quarantines dramatically, and has allowed us to keep our doors open for daily instruction. To quote a sports analogy, this pandemic has forced us to call our plays from the line of scrimmage. We must determine our plans and next steps from the information that we receive weekly from the health professionals that we rely on. I want to thank our parents, students, and staff for their understanding and flexibility as we navigate these turbulent times. Because COVID took center stage last year as our primary concern, we made the determination that we would provide our families with a weekly video update so that we could provide the impact that COVID was having in each of our schools. Although we recognize how important this information is to our parents, we also recognize that there is so much more to celebrate and report out to our families that is not COVID related. Beginning next month, we will provide our families with bi-weekly video updates as to all that is happening within our district. We want to make sure that our parents not only get to hear the great things that are occurring, but also see the students and staff that are making this year memorable and great. We believe that you will enjoy our new format and will have a greater understanding of what is occurring each month throughout the district. Now, let's bring in Mr. Madden as he will provide information about COVID and guidance on how to access this information for those families interested in monitoring the data weekly. Turn it over to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Paul. Today I wanted to touch on a couple of areas. First, I wanted to remind everyone that we continue to report our COVID-19 data on both a weekly and daily basis. You can view this information on our district website by clicking on the COVID-19 link. Additionally, I wanted to address the quarantine guidelines that are being practiced by Greene County Public Health. We have recently learned that some adjustments to quarantine procedures have been put into place. To learn more about these specific guidelines, please visit our COVID-19 webpage, where you can see the new flow chart created by Greene County Public Health. I also wanted to address the school's obligation to exclude students who have been quarantined. We have provided the specific Ohio Revised Code that outlines our obligation. Please know that we, just like parents, struggle with excluding students from a school due to a quarantine. We know not attending school or extracurricular activities is difficult for everyone, but we are required to follow the law and cooperate with Greene County Public Health in this process. The good news is that we have reduced the number of student quarantines and staff quarantines compared to last year. This has been possible due to universal mask procedures, social distancing in most spaces, and the availability of the vaccine. However, we do want our parents to know that a risk of quarantine exists under a few circumstances. One circumstance for quarantine involves any unvaccinated student that is not wearing a mask due to a mask exemption, or a student that is not wearing a mask properly and consistently. Students in this situation will be required to quarantine if they are within 3 feet of a positive person. The other risk for quarantine is for any unvaccinated student who is wearing a mask that is exposed to a positive COVID-19 person who is not wearing a mask or not wearing that mask consistently and properly. Students in this situation will be required to quarantine if they are within 3 feet of the unmasked positive person for more than 15 minutes. I also want to highlight that we are keeping a close eye on a plan that is being implemented on a temporary basis in Warren County. If this plan is approved for all schools across the state, we will review how these changes impact Beaver Creek City Schools. Again, we are always working to find ways to reduce quarantines, but we did want to remind parents that have unvaccinated students that there is still a risk for quarantine if exposed to a positive COVID-19 person. Now, let's hear from Sarah Selhammer about the district character education program, the theme for the 21-22 school year.
The Beaver Creek City Schools' vision is to inspire, lead, and empower our students. One of the ways in which we do this is through our character education program. Our character education program is a key component to helping our students understand what it means to lead and to be good citizens. The core of the program encompasses pillars of character that include caring, citizenship, fairness, respect, responsibility, and trustworthiness. These values are reinforced through curriculum initiatives, activities, and service learning opportunities that allow students to apply what they have learned. Each year, Beaver Creek selects a character education theme and a corresponding service learning opportunity. This year's character education theme is Better Together. Connectedness to school, family, and/or community is a protective factor for youth and for adults. Being connected to the school and community allows students to learn from one another, support one another, share knowledge of available resources, and introduce them to various ideas and careers. We are so excited to have all of our students back in the classroom where we are better together. Better Together encourages students and staff to build relationships and work together to support each other and the community. To implement the Better Together theme throughout the district, students and staff will be working collaboratively to promote school, district, and community connections. The goal of the theme is to promote unity across Beaver Creek because we are truly better together. Thank you for your continued support of character education in our district.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next update. And remember, we are always better together.